Hello, and welcome to today's episode of The Comfort Zone. I'm joined now by Sean Dwyer, Senior Director of Warranty and QA. Sean, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, it's a good question. Basically, my background in service. I've always been a service guy. I started off with the military. I spent 8 years in the Air Force doing air conditioning refrigeration. That was my specialty. Got out of the Air Force, worked for a contractor for a while, and then was fortunate enough to know somebody that started working for Mitsubishi and then had contacted me and asked me if I was interested in joining. Took me a little while, but I came on board, and it's been 34 years now with the company.
34 years. It's a long time.
Yes, it is. Yep.
So in those 34 years, what different roles have you had here at Mitsubishi?
Like I said, I started off as basically what we refer to as an area service manager. We had another name for it back then, but we've changed the name so often I can't remember what they all were. But it's area service manager, and I was out doing, at that point in time, we were doing everything. We were doing the training, we were doing service support, we were doing telephone support. We didn't have all the other peripheral departments that we have now, like customer care and so forth, so we did it all. And then I just kind of worked my way up through the ranks from an area service manager to a regional manager to a supervisor role, management of a whole BU business unit, and then worked up to senior director of technical services, and then moved over into MBS for a while, continuous improvement. And then about about 8 months ago, I guess it now was, moved over into the warranty department.
Wow, it's quite the journey, and we're lucky to have you.
It's been interesting, to say the least.
So, commercial warranty. What exactly differentiates commercial warranty from residential warranty?
Obviously, the main thing would be the equipment. Typically, when we talk about commercial warranty, we're talking about our city multi-product, VRF, water-cooled, air-cooled, etc. Whereas the residential product is more the M&P series product, something that would be installed either in a light commercial, like a small shop or something, or a home. Primary difference between the two.
All right. When submitting commercial warranty, what is different for commercial warranty than, say, someone going to the Register Me HVAC and putting in for a residential product?
Quite a bit of difference there. Actually, the residential side is a little bit simpler, because basically all you're doing is you're putting in the model and serial number, site location, install date, and that's the primary things that we're looking for on the residential side. When you get into the commercial side, because you're dealing with commercial equipment, it's quite a bit more technical. There's more bits and pieces. What we're looking for in that is we've got the site information, model numbers, serial numbers. There has to be what we call a design tool. A diamond designer has to design the project using design tool, and then the contractor actually has to take a course. They've got to be certified not certified, but they've taken a course for the city multi-product. And then they have to submit it with maintenance tool to our area service managers to review. And then all that information is gone through, and once it's done, they also, like I said, they have to take the training, all that's reviewed, and then it's processed through the completion, and there's letters sent out for that.
So that review process, is that manual or some special computer program is run?
It's combination, but it's primarily manual. Right now, and that's something we're working on, is to automate the process as much as possible, but there's a lot of manual work being done on that back end at this point in time.
Wow. So let me take a step back, and you said the location. There's data for the location where the equipment's installed. What exactly are we talking about with location data?
We're basically just looking for site information. What is
like
the
address of an
address, right? What is the physical address? What is the name of the location, physical location? So,
all right. So, what are some things we can look for on the horizon? You mentioned this, a system, any type of timetable with that changing or making things easier on our side.
We're working through it right now. Obviously, there's a lot of bits and pieces. That's the thing about the City Multi-Extended Warranty. There's a lot of crossover between what we call our Diamond Service Builder tool and Salesforce, where we're bringing the information into. So we're working in that. We're basically taking it piece by piece and trying to do it one step at a time. And continuous improvement, the concept is you're typically taking smaller pieces and trying to improve one piece at a time to make the whole process better instead of going for, I mean, if it's nice if you can do one big, fantastic upgrade,
Right.
that's not normally the way it works. So probably hopefully within the next year or so, we'll have a lot of this in place is what we're targeting.
Oh, that's excellent. You know, in developing training and doing shows like this, we learn step by step as we go, and you know, incremental improvements. So when it comes to commercial warranty and contractors or administrators at a commercial office submitting, what kind of grinds your gears? What do you see most often as maybe errors or things that are done incorrectly?
That's a tough one because I've been spending a lot of time lately working on city multi-extended warranties. Things like, for instance, you know, one of the requirements that I pointed out was that there has to be training, that the contractor who is submitting this extended warranty for the extended warranty has to be trained. They have to have attended a city multi course.
And that's our 3-day City Multi Essentials course.
Right, okay. Right. What we consider now. Now, obviously, we have contractors who have been in business for some amount of time, so there's a whole bunch of different courses that can actually apply to that training.
Right.
Because we have the older 3-day course, and then, you know, it graduates. We have to take a look at that and say, okay, this is a contractor who's been in business for a while, and they took this course 5 years ago, so it might be named differently. So the one thing we have to make sure is that they have the training. What we find, not a lot, but occasionally we find where they don't have the training listed. And then we've got a deep dive into, you know, maybe the technician changed companies. Right. That certificate goes with the technician, and maybe that information wasn't carried over when he went to the new company. And now we need to find out, can we get a certificate? Can we get the information? How do we find out? You say you took the course, but we need to validate that.
Exactly. Just some record keeping to be on within our internal systems and hunt down who's qualifying the commercial contractor.
Right. You know, besides that, you know, quite often it's model and serial number information.
Yeah.
And this could be several things. There could be a glitch in the system where information wasn't scanned properly, or the scan didn't take. When we scan product going out of our warehouse, that information is supposed to be carried into our system. Sometimes we will find where a contractor has a unit on site. They send us the information, but it's not in our system. And now we have to validate that. And typically we do that by either getting a picture of the tear tag or the data plate of the unit itself, so that we can validate, yes, this unit does truly exist, and we can input it into our system. We don't want to have a bogus unit out there. The other thing would be that obviously a lot of the input is manual. So there's some human error that goes into play where people enter in the wrong numbers, they cross numbers, they don't fill out a complete serial number, those sort of things. And then we've got to do research to try to dig that up.
To put the pieces together to finalize the warranty.
Exactly. Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So those are some of the key things that we find when we're dealing with that. I mean, occasionally it might be site information. Somebody doesn't put the correct site information. You can tell by doing enough of them that, like, this doesn't line up with the information you're giving, and you've got to do research to make sure to validate that, and all of that takes time.
Gotcha. So we have an email from a listener, a watcher. Carter from Iowa asks, what voids a commercial warranty?
What voids a commercial warranty? Really two primary things would void a commercial warranty. One would be that, the biggest one would be that if somebody goes in to put in a warranty, and the address doesn't match. Somebody, and this has happened occasionally, not very often, but where somebody has actually taken that unit, they installed it at one place, they sold the business, somebody took that unit and moved it someplace else, and now it's got a totally different address. And so when they go to get the warranty, they're using the address it's at right now, and the warranty won't fly.
So you mean like the St. Louis Rams leave St. Louis and go to Los Angeles, and they take a piece of equipment along with all the football gear.
And then, yeah, they lose warranty. It's got to be at the original installation site. They can't move. If the addresses don't match, the warranty doesn't fly.
Gotcha.
So another case would be typically if the owner changes. If you look at our standard warranty states that it's to the original owner. Mm-hmm. So if you have a company that has a site and they decide they're expanding, and they move to another location, somebody else buys that facility, that extended warranty does not carry over with with the new location, with that new company.
Gotcha.
Now, there are some states that are working on laws that make that a case where you cannot have that, which we're working through right now with our legal department to make sure we got all those bases covered. But typically, that's the way it plays out.
All right. Well, I've got 2 final fun questions to ask you. First one, at home, what is your comfort zone?
What is my comfort zone? I'm assuming we're talking about temperature.
Yeah, let's keep it at temperature.
Okay. All right. Actually, I'm from upstate New York, and I like it cold. Not real cold, but like when I sleep at night, I usually have my thermostat set around 68 degrees. During the day, obviously, I want to be conservative, so if I'm not at the house, I'd usually have it set around 75, 77. If I'm home, I'm usually running around 73 degrees.
Excellent. Those a little chilly right there.
Yeah, like I said, I'm from northern New York.
And then follow-up question, what's for dinner tonight?
What's for dinner tonight? Oh boy, that's a good question because I love to cook. I don't like going out. I would rather cook than actually go out. So when I get home, that's one of my biggest questions of the day is, what am I going to cook? Wow. Most likely I've got some leftover steak from the other day. I'm probably going to use that leftover steak and make some type of noodle dish with steak and veggies and some kind of a
Spicy? You're gonna make it spicy?
Always spicy. It's got to always be spicy. I like spicy food, so yeah.
Sean, I must say your warranty is complete. Thank you for joining me today on this episode of The Comfort Zone. We look forward to seeing you again soon.